guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Tobe. It's been such a while and I've tried. I've tried to get videos out. My old laptop was really making things tough for me. My camera is still broken, but hopefully I'll get another camera in a few more weeks. But I just wanted to come on here and get at least one video out because I've got a new laptop. Yay! So I can at least get this part of the work done. I missed you. I really did. What's been going on? It's been a very interesting past couple of weeks all around the world. Here in the United States, it's been crazy. But I am just going to move right on and talk about 5 things. I just remembered that I had 2 more videos to make about my experience with network marketing. Ooh, should I do that first? You know, I'm gonna do this one first and I'll come back to those videos. I think I'll probably just put the rest of the gist into one video, maybe try to do some sort of story time and share all the thoughts and happenings from that. I think so, just so that I can wrap that up and, you know, keep it aside and leave it where it is. Today on the 5 things, I am going to share with you 5 lessons that I have learned from disappointment and that I hope you can learn too from whatever disappointment that you happen to experience. As a bit of a baseline, I think that it's important for us to recognize that life brings us experiences. Life will bring us things that are upsetting, that are beautiful, that are joyous, that are saddening. We are going to experience the peaks and valleys of life, whether or not we intend to. As long as we're alive, life is going to, you know, be what it is. And I think that it's important to have a very set out mindset to how we want to approach life. I remember speaking to someone a couple of months back, and something that we both agreed on was that it is okay to pre-decide how you will respond to situations and things. So you tell yourself that if a person speaks to you in a certain type of way, you're going to react a certain type of way, right? Sometimes we say to ourselves we're going to react in the most authoritarian way possible, but other times we can tell ourselves that we're going to be calm and composed about the situation, and saying that to yourself over time helps you practice it mentally, and that in itself helps you practice it in real life. And I'm hoping that these 5 things that I share with you that I consider to be lessons from disappointment become things that you play around with in your head and that you remind yourself, so that when you experience the valleys of life, you're able to remember and hold on to them to help you get through. So here are 5 lessons I have learned from disappointment, and I hope you can take them and use them in your own learning and growth. Number 1, disappointments are not always bad. Because life, again, is just a series of peaks and valleys and we're all going through the motions, it's not always bad. I am Christian, and by virtue of my Christian faith, I believe that everything works out for good. There's stories, you know, really interesting stories of a person trying so hard to get on a flight or get in a bus and they miss it, and then there's some sort of mishap along the way and they go like, oh wow, that disappointment was a blessing, right? So it could be that sort of situation where you recognize the blessing so clearly and glaringly, or it could be a blessing that you might never even understand. You might never know. You were in this beautiful relationship and it ended for reasons you're not able to understand, and it really, really hurts. And that makes sense that it hurts. So in that situation, you would really never know what life would have been if you and this person had continued being together. But then you have to come to a place where you understand and accept that this heartbreak that you're experiencing is something that you've experienced now, so that it can save you for something bigger in the future. One of my favorite priests on YouTube, Father Mike Schmitz, in a sermon a couple of months ago, he said something. He said, sometimes God allows us a heart that is broken to save us a soul that is lost, right? So disappointments are not always a bad thing. And as much as it's difficult to remember that in the moment, I do hope that that lesson from disappointment is something that comes to you when you need it the most. Number 2, you aren't always responsible. Bad things happen to good people. Good things happen to bad people. Bad things happen to bad people. Good things happen to good people. Like, life does what life does, and sometimes it really is not your fault. Some of us can get so stuck on blaming ourselves. I am a person who struggles with that, because every time I experience a situation, particularly a bad situation, I try to ask myself how I have been culpable in making that situation a bad one. I try to think about what I could have done differently, how I could have acted or responded differently to a trigger or something. And while I think that is a good thing, because you definitely want to be a person who is very conscious of yourself, it can also lead you down this spiral of self-blame and just doubting yourself and self-chastisement. And that can be hard. It's not a bad thing to chastise yourself and call yourself out when you've messed up, but if you dwell on that and then somehow start to only recognize this negative thing about yourself or this drawback in yourself, it definitely does put you in a bad place. So I think that when you experience disappointment, even when you're able to see how you were culpable in that disappointing situation happening, it's important to remember that it is not always your fault. And even when you are completely responsible for the disappointment, do what you can to fix it, right? But don't dwell so much on the fact that you were responsible for a thing. Most times you will find that even when you have high culpability, there is a little element of something else that someone else did, or something else that happened within that scenario that was completely out of your control. There is always a little bit of it that is not entirely your fault. And you might want to allow your mind hold on to that so that you can move on from the disappointment. Number 3, every disappointment is a lesson. Regardless of how painful it is, as long as you survive it, you go through it, you will learn from it. Chances are that when you've done something and it has hurt you, you will remember. Even if you don't remember everything about that experience, you will at least remember the pain that you experienced, and somehow your brain is going to tell you, this pain that I experienced in November of 1993 happened because of something like this. It looked like this, it smelled like this, it felt like this. We're not going to do it again because it hurt the first time. So remember that every disappointment carries with it a lesson, and take whatever the lesson is and run with it. Number 4, disappointments are ladders. They are little stepping stones that bring you closer to the final version of you, the optimal version of you. You need those experiences, those things that you experience which hurt you, which are disappointing to you. Those things are things that help you build character. Character is built in adversity. Character is built when the chips are down and the tide is low. You need to experience those things to help you become more of a fuller person. And so consider that the pain that you're feeling, the disappointment that you're experiencing, is something that is helping you move forward in your character and your personality. Number 5, disappointments are diamonds in rocky places. When you think about the best books that you've read, well, maybe not the best fiction books, but the best non-fiction books, memoirs, autobiographies, they are filled with stories of disappointment, of hurt, of bad decisions, and then things that just turned out to be good, experiences that turned out positive, or maybe did not turn out positive, but then they didn't kill the person, right? It is very likely that if you allow it, your disappointments can make for a good story. It can make for a good life lesson. It could even make for a legacy for you. So your disappointments could build up to becoming your diamond in very rocky places. So that's it. Those are the 5 lessons that I have learned from disappointments, and I hope that these are lessons that you're able to hold on to, maybe learn on your own, or just thoughts that you're able to take with you as you go on through life. Things can get really rough, especially in the season that we're in. A lot of people are having a hard time and having it rough. I hope that these thoughts and these lessons help you get by one extra day at a time, and as you go through the motions of life, you're able to take one or all of these and hold on to them and say, yeah, I know that this is a lesson. I know that this is something that I'm just passing through. Oh, I feel like the biggest thing that I even need to say, and this makes it more than 5 things, is that disappointments don't last. Nothing lasts forever, including the bad things. So it's all a season, it's all a cycle. It will come to an end when it does, and you just need to find the strength to stay the course. Well, thank you so much for being right here on my channel. My name is Tobe. If you're not following me on social media, please go right ahead. Follow me on Twitter and on Instagram at I am Tobe Neji. I am so excited to be back here. I'm a little low on energy in this video, but things are going to pick up pretty quickly over the next couple of days. I'm also not going to be waiting for Sundays to put out videos. I'm just going to record them and put them out there because I feel like I haven't been out here for a good couple of weeks, and I'm trying to take care of all of that backlog. So if there's stuff that you would like me to talk about, stuff you want my thoughts and ideas on, please go right ahead and share that with me on social media at I am Tobe Neji. And oh guys, I I am officially now a speaker. I had my first paid speaking engagement a few weeks ago. It was beautiful. So many great pieces of feedback came my way, and I'm really thankful that I had that opportunity. So hey, if you want to have me booked at a session or you'd like me to come speak at a webinar, please feel free to contact me. It feels so empowering to say that, but yeah, I'm really excited. So tell me congrats. Just tell me congrats in the comment section. Make me feel excited. Okay, I'm gonna go away now. Here is me hoping that you'll have a beautiful time as always. Be blessed, be good, and just stay whole. I hope that whatever disappointment you experienced or you might be experiencing right now is something that turns out to work together for your good. Have a beautiful one.